Hello, welcome to a quick little flow class, just something nice and steady to get you up, get you moving, get you stretching. We're going to start in seated. So if you'd like to have a towel or blanket rolled up and sitting on the bottom edge just to give your hips a little bit more space, feel free to do so. And then take a moment just to feel your sits bones rooted down into the ground. Feel your crown of the head rising up. Take a moment just to let your body settle, maybe a sigh on your exhale. Keep the crown lifted, shoulder blades softening down your back. Hands can be on top of your knees. Palms up, palms down, fingertips to the floor, whatever feels good to you. And then we're going to do something called box breathing. So we're kind of evening out the breath. So on your next inhale, consider slowing down and really filling up from the bottom between that space between your hip creases. So as you inhale for a count of 4. And then hold just nice and gently for 4. As you exhale, soften, let that breath slowly release for 4. And then on the bottom of your exhale, we're going to hold for 4. So as we spend just a little bit of time breathing here, you can shorten or lengthen those numbers, but just keep it steady. Each breath drawing in nice and smooth, and on those holds, not creating a lot of tension, just a gentle drawing in and containing of the breath. So we don't want to create tension as we hold. And as you breathe this boxed breath, keeping steady and drawing into that breath, listening to that breath, those holds, just becoming very aware of the status of breath. As we equalize, it helps us to kind of draw in. And today is kind of all around this Darren O'Connor quote that I saw. I think I was on a trip, and it said, "It is important to remember that you are a spirit having a human experience, not just a human having a spiritual experience. Always be balanced and confident in your endeavors." So as we balance out our breath, maybe there's an awareness of any areas where maybe you've forgotten to tune into the space of knowing. Maybe we've come out of habit of listening to universe, listening to the gut that's always aware. And just reminding ourselves, so any thoughts, mantras that you have, let those come into the breath. And then just let them release. Take 2 more of those equalizing breaths for both body and spirit. And as you're ready, you can keep your eyes closed or just soften your gaze forward and just start to make some movements as if looking from side to side over each shoulder, just getting into the cervical spine. Remembering breath. And as you're ready, bringing those arms up overhead, taking a nice big inhale, feel sits bones staying rooted to the ground. As that left hand floats down, stretch that right arm over. We'll maintain our shoulders open, Keeping that right sits bones down to the ground. Taking just a couple of breaths here. You can, even if you'd like, take that gaze. So almost as if you were gazing up underneath that right armpit. Feeling that space between your intercostal muscles, between the ribs, widening and expanding. Come back towards center. We'll lift that left hand. As you exhale, the right hand lowers. Reach the left hand, left sits bone stays down. We'll keep our shoulders opening. Gaze can go under that armpit if it feels okay. Really opening up here. Inhale, take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, feel that left shoulder spinning towards the back. Right hand on top of left knee. Take a pause in the middle. Take an inhale, draw up from the pelvic floor. Exhale, maybe twist a little bit deeper. We are all divine because we are human, not in spite of being human. Exhale, slowly come back towards center. Reach those arms up. Big deep breath in. And then again on the exhale, that right shoulder spin back. Left hand to the top of the right knee. Take a little pause halfway to inhale, grow long through the spine. Exhale, twisting a little bit deeper. Inhale, coming back towards center. One more time, reaching those hands up. As you exhale, you can come forward. We're going to come into table. I'd like to have something underneath your knees. Feel free, fan out those fingers. Take a moment here. Feel the knees directly underneath the hips. Wrists can be slightly forward from the shoulders if that feels more comfortable to you. Fan out the fingers. Feel the low belly. So think of belly button coming towards mid-back, crown of the head reaching forward just to feel nice and long here. On the next inhale, we're going to extend the left leg. If it feels good to you, you can reach the right arm forward as well. So keeping all of that length and strength. As you exhale, draw knee to chest. If you have your arm, you can bring elbow to knee and give them a little squeeze. Create a little resistance. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw in. One more. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale. Inhale, extend long. If that arm is out, go ahead and bring it down. Bring that left leg all the way over to the left. And maybe a little rocking back and forth of the hips. Starting to stretch into the inner thigh. You can exhale it back. Inhale forward. If you want to just hold that stretch back, that's fine too. On your next inhale, as you come forward, swing that left leg all the way over to the right. Draw that right shoulder towards right hip. Take your gaze back towards your toes. If you could like, you can rock on the ball of that left foot, starting to open up into the calf and the bottom of our feet. Big, deep inhale, cleansing exhale. Inhale, extend, and exhale, bring that left knee back. You can rock the hips a little from side to side. Then coming back to that neutral spine. Once again, low belly, gently drawing towards your mid and upper back. Fan out the fingers. On your next inhale, extend the right leg long. If you like, you can extend the left arm as well. As you exhale, draw the knee to chest. If you're using your arm, squeeze elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, use that core. Inhale, last time. This time, extend it out. If your hand is out, go ahead and bring it down. Bring that right leg all the way to the right. And then some rocking back. Or you can feel free to hold in that back position, whatever feels best to you. Sometimes, especially if we're sore, a little bit of dynamic movement kind of helps to open up. Come back towards center. Inhale, extend that right leg. As you exhale, draw right leg all the way to the left. Draw that left shoulder towards left hip. If you'd like, you can rock back and forth. Feeling a little stretch in the calf, bottom of our feet. We are already complete and whole.
And sometimes it takes stopping, breathing, connecting to that to realize it. Once again, inhale, extend long. Exhale, bring that knee down. Find a little bit of wiggle, maybe a little side to side. Then we'll come into some cat-cows. So on that inhale, feel the hips lift, low belly softens, heart shines through, chin comes up. As you exhale, soften again towards earth, bend the elbows straight back, then tuck the tailbone under, draw the navel of the spine, press the mat away, chin tucks. Really expel and inhale as much as you can to broaden those spaces. Let the spine get as slinky and soft as possible. And we'll meet back in that neutral spine. Go ahead and tuck those toes under, press the mat forward, come to your first downward dog. So as you're pressing that mat forward, feeling the shoulders more in a neutral position, you can straighten into the knees. Heels soften towards the mat. They do not need to touch the mat. Big deep inhale, cleansing, clearing, exhale. On your next inhale, come up high on those toes. Wave the spine forward into plank. Exhale, lower the knees. Lower all the way down towards your mat. You can keep your fingertips by your side. Draw the elbows in, shoulder blades glide down the back. Press all 10 toenails into the mat, so much so that your kneecaps kind of lift off because your legs and quads are fired. Soften the tailbone, think of bringing pubic bone to belly button. On your inhale, draw that chest up, take the gaze forward. Take an exhale, stay strong. On your next inhale, feel the inhale rise up from the pelvic floor. Maybe there's another little lift, maybe not. As you exhale, gently lower down. You can release the hands, rock the hips from side to side. Bring those hands back by the chest. Draw shoulder blades back, elbows in. Untuck the toes. So now your toes are, or maybe you're tucking the toes. Well, anyway, to come back to downward dog, you need your toes in the position. Firm up that core. Take an exhale, press up. And let those hips draw you back. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a look forward. Take an inhale, soften the knees, soften the elbows straight back. As you exhale, bring those feet any way you like, but bring them under your hips. Bend those knees so the low belly, bottom of the ribs, is resting on the top of our thighs. That way we're protecting that hamstring insertion. You can take a little walk with the torso from side to side. Bring that breath, let that head and neck release. Maybe you notice one side is a little stiffer than the other. Just let yourself kind of explore those spaces. Sometimes we just need 3 deep breaths to be able to connect back again with that intuitiveness, with a quiet space where we can hear all of that knowing, all that internal and external messaging that has a greater knowing than maybe just the human part, just the knowledge. That heart space is so intuitive. Bring weight back into the heels. Take a deep bend in those knees. Then you can use a block or bring hands to shins or fingertips to the mat, whatever's most comfortable. We're going to take a little half lift. So inhale, crown of the head forward, tailbone back. As you exhale, soften back into the knees. Weight back in the heels and hips. Exhale, bring that torso all the way up. And then inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, hands come to heart center, shoulder blades soften down the back. Take a moment, lift up the feet, kind of kick them out a little bit. And then wherever they kind of want to land, that's where your hip width is. Maybe your toes are a little turned out. You might notice one side is turned out a little bit more than the other. That's just fine. Take a nice big inhale, roll those shoulders up, shoulder blades roll down and back. Feel the shoulders stacked over hips. Feel the ears stacked over shoulders. Feel nice and tall here. Maybe even open up the fingers. Make your hands really big and then wide. Bring them out from the side. Get big here. Inhale it in. Exhale, release your jaw. Side out. One more of those. Sometimes we make ourselves really small to fit in. And that's not really who we are. Then keeping those feet hip width, lean back into the heels, lean back into the hips, send the seat back, coming in a chair. Inhale, reach those arms up. So find that seat back, use your core to draw the torso up. Take a nice big inhale. On your exhale, we're gonna bring that left foot back, coming into high crescent, Anjaneyasana. So you can keep that back leg bent to bring the torso up, reach the arms up, then extend the leg. So here's some fun, a little work into this front leg. So we're gonna press into that front leg. Take a nice big inhale first to prepare. As you exhale, press everything you have and draw that knee up. Inhale, send it back nice and smooth. Back into high crescent. Exhale, press it up. Inhale it back. We'll go one more. Exhale. Inhale, send that foot back. As you exhale, pivot that back foot so it's parallel to the mat, coming into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Take the gaze over those front fingertips, feel your shoulder blades glide down your back. Legs are really active and strong. As you inhale, reach that right arm up, left arm down. Exhale, back to Warrior Two. Inhale, right forearm to the top of the right thigh. Reach the left arm, extended side angle. On your next inhale, sweep that left hand. It's going to take hold just below the left knee. Right hand is going to come just below the knee or maybe down to the ankle. Reach, open up, spinning our chest open, reaching our left arms up. Then as you exhale, straighten into that front leg. So now we're in Trikonasana. Big, deep inhale. Cleansing, clearing exhale. Take your gaze forward. Take another deep bend in your knees. Circle that left arm down. Meet back in chair. Take a nice big deep inhale as you exhale. Back up into that wide, expansive Tadasana. Fingertips open. You can draw your shoulder blades down your back, but span out your fingers. Get really big. Big deep inhale, release your jaw, exhale it out. On your next inhale, send the hips back. Weight back in the heels, weight back in the hips. Use your core to lift that torso up into chair, sit back. Feel all that strength, all that heat. Then as you're ready, bring that right leg back. Come up into Anjaneyasana, that high crescent. Shoulder blades slide down your back. Take a nice deep inhale to prepare. As you exhale, give everything you have into that right leg or left leg. Draw the right knee up. Slowly, slowly as you exhale, back to high crescent. Exhale, press. Last one. Inhale, reach, exhale. Inhale, back to high crescent. As you exhale, open it up to Warrior Two. Feeling nice and strong, take gaze over the front fingertips, shoulder blades glide down your back. Whenever you're ready on your next inhale, reverse. Exhale it back to Warrior Two. Inhale that extended side angle, left forearm to the top of the left thigh, reaching our right arms over. As you exhale, sweep and bend into that right knee. Right hand comes to right knee, left hand to the knee, maybe not to the ankle. Then we're going to open up that right shoulder, open up that right hip, Reach the fingertips up, take your gaze up, then begin to straighten into both knees. Trikonasana. Big deep inhale, cleansing exhale. Take another inhale, and this time on your exhale, take your gaze forward, bend into that front knee, right foot meets chair pose. As you exhale, come up, span out the fingers, feel those shoulder blades open, or come together so shoulders open. Then coming to the long side of your mat, toes same direction as your knees. Feel your tailbone kind of softening down and back, coming into goddess, but give your hips space. So instead of going straight down and tucking, give those hips some room. Feel your core engaged, so feel those inner thighs let up. Then draw up from the pelvic floor, chest lifts, shoulder blades glide down your back. On your next inhale, we're gonna bend down, we're gonna sweep up from the earth, gathering in, bringing it up overhead, straightening into the legs. Exhale, draw all of that knowing that we are divine back into the heart space, sinking low. Exhale, sweep it, grab all of that divine nature, drawing it up, back from the heavens, back into the heart space. One last time. So if you could gather from earth all of that energy that says you are meant to be here and you are whole and complete. Draw hands to heart center, feel shoulder blades glide down your back. Then kind of softening here into your feet, maybe the heels drop back a little. You can straighten the legs and forward fold. And a little release, your head and neck release. You can let that torso wander from side to side again here if that feels good to you. Gently start to walk those heels and toes, so your feet, back in a little wider than hip width. And if you'd like to have a block behind you, because we're going to be coming into Malasana, so you could always place a block directly behind you. Gonna soften into the knees, bring the seat down, forearms come to the top of the thighs. Feel the tailbone reach back, heart lifts. This is a really great pose right here. Widening into the hips, heart reaching upward. Feel free to keep drifting downward, elbows coming to the inside. Maybe the seat finds the top of the block. Elbows press into knees, knees into elbows, hands come to heart center. Take an inhale, feel that chest lift upwards. And as always, you can remove the block if that feels good to you. Keep elbows pressing into knees, knees into elbows, the heart lifting. Feel some softening in your face wherever you are. Shoulder blades drawing down your back. Inhale deep into the low belly. Let that breath travel all the way to the crown of the head. As you exhale, release your jaw. One more. Wherever you're at, gently bring the hands down behind you and let your seat find your mat. Bring those knees up, soles of the feet to the mat. Slowly, slowly make your way down to your back. Keeping the left sole of the foot down to the mat, cross the right leg over. Gently draw those knees into your chest. Little squeeze. You can take hold of below the knees, or if it feels good to you, you can flex your feet, taking hold of the knife edges of your feet. If you have your feet, just be really mindful that you're not pulling your feet in and turning your ankles to flex into your feet to keep that ankle safe. Draw the feet kind of out and down. Soften your face here, your shoulders. And release those legs. Left sole of the foot stays the mat. You can keep your legs crossed if that feels okay to you. Bring your arms out like a T. Gently lift up your hips and move them to the right, just inches, so just barely. Then as you exhale, both knees can drift over to the left as that right shoulder blade stays down to the ground. If it feels good, we can take our gaze over the right fingertips. If this crossing of the legs is really intense on any part of your body, feel free to uncross and just stack the knees on top of each other. It's just this beautiful twist to reset the spine. You don't want to make this uncomfortable. It's always listening into self where we feel a greater sense of spirit. As you're ready, on a next exhale, slowly bring everything back up to center. You can even kind of take a little pause through dead bug before we go to the other side. If you'd like to bring your feet up into the air and move those ankles, it's up to you. But then right sole of the foot to the mat, cross the left leg over so the knees are stacked. Gently draw knees into chest, take hold of below the knee, or again, flex into your feet, taking hold of the knife edges of your feet. Keeping those feet flexed, you can draw them kind of out and down. Tops of the shoulders soften towards the mat. Deep breath, low belly. Release, right sole of the foot back to the mat, arms out. Again, gently lift up those hips, bring them to the left, just ever so slightly, just maybe 2 inches. Then whenever your next deep exhale comes around, let your knees drift to the right. Left shoulder blade stays down towards the mat. If it feels good, we can take our gaze over left fingertips. Again, uncross those knees if you have any pain in the knee or the low back, or if it's just too intense on the IT band. This is just supposed to be kind of a yummy reset of the spine. Maybe a little stretch of the low back. As you exhale, let tension melt from your face, from your shoulder blades. And whenever you are ready, after an inhale and on a deep exhale, bring the knees back. And any last little bit of movement that you need, maybe it's a little happy baby, maybe you're just squeezing knees in the chest, whatever it is that you feel you would like, go ahead and take that movement. And once you've gotten that all out of your system, when you feel ready to allow yourself to get big again on your mat, just as we were standing, so extend your feet so they come to the outer edges of your mat and let the feet fall open. Bring your arms away from your body, palms up. Draw your shoulder blades underneath your heart. Let the tops of your shoulders meet the mat. Take a big, deep inhale. Fill up the very lowest part as if you could breathe to your tailbone and let the breath travel up your spine. Diaphragm expands, rib expands, collarbone expands. That breath moves up the throat to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, let it all out. One more cleansing breath. And allow yourself to rest in this space. This may be the most important pose, your resting pose, to let the body, the fascial tissue come back into realignment, let the mind soften. So I'm leaving you with a quote from Terence McKenna. You are a divine being. You matter. You count. You come from realms of unimaginable power and light, and you will return to those.